Ahoy! Well, I'm here in Ludington, and it's the wind's blowing out of the north. It's been raining most of the day, and here's the old Skylark at the dock here. I haven't done looking at sailboats in a while. So let's do that. Now this is my neighbor boat, a big Catalina. I'm thinking it's like a 38, maybe. But look at all this gear. They got all the canvas, of course. And they got like their radar like mounted on the backstay, but the dish isn't level. So I guess they still work okay with that. And they got big old davits here for their big old dinghy. And a magma. See, this is what I need hanging on. So I might get one of these magma grills and, hang that off my stern pulpit, but I don't know about the rest of this stuff. So, but yeah. So, and then, this is all kitted out for cruising. You got your in-the-mast furling, which I've talked about before. Oh, he's got no topping lift because he's got a solid vang on there. So it doesn't need a topping lift. The rigging is continuous. I don't see any turnbuckles aloft. And, yeah. And then, I don't know, this is different. I haven't seen, oh, okay, so this is, you can kind of see the base there of the spindle for the in-the-mast furling, and then the mechanism. So I've never seen this before, so that line there, that blue line, although the blue line is also on the vang, so there's a different blue line here. And that line, oh, okay, because the outhaul pulls the main out by the clew, pulls it out. And then I guess that's the line for furling it back in again. And so as you pull the clew, it winds up on that spiral. So it's the same principle as the jib furler, where as you unfurl the jib, it winds up the furling line on the spool there, and then when you want to furl it, you pull on the furling line. So you do the same thing here. You do that furling line, refurls. It furls the mast inside the. It furls the main. And I guess this is an add-on because the sail is not actually inside the mast. Okay, so on an original like Selden mast with in-the-mast furling, the main would be on a spindle inside the mast itself. Here this is like a bolt-on. Literally, you attach it, and the sail comes out. So. If I were going to adapt my boat to do something like that, I'd get in the boom furling. But hey, that's just me. And they're all kitted out. It looks like somebody's home, but I haven't seen anybody here. So I'm not sure what the situation is. All right, so there's nothing really. I mean, it's September 22nd, so. There's a lot of empty space here. So I had no trouble finding a slip. I didn't even contact the marina. I just pulled in, and here I am. So now, and this is the real motivation for me, inspiration, I guess, for doing one of these looking at sailboats, because I wanted to look and talk about this. I had not seen one of these before. This is an Italia, and it's a 13. It's called a 13.98, 13.98 because it's 13.98 meters long. I don't know why they just didn't, you know, throw in a couple more centimeters and call it a 1400, but this is a rather rakish boat. I think this is one of the best examples I've seen of what I call the modern aesthetic of sailboats that you see, like your Beneteaus and your Jeannots, you know, have that with the plumb bow with the bowsprit, and then, you know, the kind of like aggressive sheer. Although this boat, the sheer almost looks like it's flat. And the whole boat kind of looks like it's sort of leaning backward, you know, which I haven't really seen before. You got your dual helm, of course, because it's a modern boat. And you've got canvas on here, but it succeeds in not making the boat look like a Conestoga wagon. See, because there's no isinglass. I guess, oh, okay, you can probably just put isinglass on there if you want, but mostly you don't want it. You know, mostly what you want is a bimini, which is exactly what they've done, and that's a big one. But I can see some innovation here in how they design this. So I'm sure they have isinglass to put in the front if it's raining or if there's a lot of spray come over, but really you don't want that because, you know, it gives you a lot of windage. Okay. What about the rig? So let's see. Now this is discontinuous. You've got turnbuckles aloft, like on the first spreaders. You got a separate turnbuckle. That's a separate wire there that goes from the base of the upper. Let me point this the right way. From the base of the upper spreader to the end of the lower spreader. That's its own little wire with its own turnbuckle. So you have to go aloft to like adjust these if you want to really tune the rig right. And it's an almost masthead rig. I mean, I'm not sure what the fraction here looks like. It might be like 15/16 or something, or you know, 12/13 or whatever. You got a split back stay, and you got good jack lines there. So this is a proper stack pack, I'm pretty sure. You just take that front cover off, and then you can raise your main. So, but yeah, this is actually a very attractive boat. I think, you know, this is what Beneteaus and Jeannots wish they were. So I think it's a nice and I looked up this boat, and it's got good reviews. And it's, let me come back here. Yeah, and unlike other boats I've seen of this style, it has a counter stern. So, and again, that kind of contributes to the overall kind of stance of this boat, is kind of leaning back, you know. I haven't seen that before. And in fact, this is the first Italia that I have seen. There's another one over there that I'll get to. But see, this has got nice. This looks like real teak. So, very well done. I think you know, you could race this boat, and they probably do, but it's also very very comfortable. Has really nice style. So, all right, we'll go to the next dock. Yeah, so I'm over on the next dock, and so here's the front view of that Italia. So what do we have here? We got a big old Hunter 386. All right, and again, it's got the B&R rig. Let's see here. Yeah, no backstay. So it's fractional B&R. Now you've got all kinds of. discontinuity here. You got, again, you got these discontinuous shrouds, and like they kind of crisscross though. See, this has got the lowers crisscross and the intermediates, but then the uppers don't even go to the top of the mast. Yeah, it just goes to where the forestay goes, and then so that whole upper part of that mast, what's that, a good 10 feet? I mean, there's nothing to counteract the load from the main, although at that height it's not going to be that much, so I guess they can get away with this. So, ooh, look at that hawk right there. All right. Oh, and these are always cute, these little tugboats. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna walk down here. Let's see here. What do we got down here now? Oh, that's a nice trawler. Okay, so we got the old Legend. Right, Hunter made these, right? Yeah, this is a Hunter, I'm pretty sure. The Legend 37.5. Again, this is back when they were still putting back stays. It's got a split back stay. And see here you've got continuous, and there's no turnbuckles up. There's no turnbuckles aloft. You can do all your tuning from the deck level. So, but again, still you've got a fractional rig. You got a fractional rig with the cap shrouds, the upper shrouds, only going to the same height as the forestay. So, but at least there's a backstay. Yeah, geez. Catalina, okay, this is a Catalina 400, so this is a 40-footer. And, okay, yeah, got your in the mast. Now, see, this boat has proper, I guess proper is a word I use, reservedly, yeah, so, but see here, okay, this mast was designed for in the mast furling. It furls the main inside the mast, and you can see some of the hardware cut away. It's on the other side of the boat. I can't really see it that clearly from over here. Okay, so you've got your, again, this mast was designed for in the mast furling. So yeah, okay, and so yeah, double spread. It's kind of a, the other thing about in the mast furling is that it kind of requires that you have a straight mast. See how this mast is as straight as a utility pole, because the spindle can't, roll through a curve, like, so there's a lot of performance compromises that you make within the mast furling. Another thing is that your sail, your main, doesn't have a proper roach, and it doesn't have battens, and so it just doesn't perform as well either. So I don't know, the in the mast furling is just kind of a, I just don't see it. I mean, the upside is that you don't have to hoist the main every time, but hey, hoisting the main isn't that big of a deal. At least you've got a sail that has proper battens, and a roach, and that is cut to actually function as a sail. See, this is a Dufour. What is this? 460. A Dufour 460. Yeah. Yeah, this is a, okay, this is a 46-footer. Okay, you got your discontinuous rigging. And again, in the mast, because yeah, I think one thing I'm going to start looking for is that when I see a boat with in the mast furling, I think, yeah, Yeah, see, that mast is just straight up and down. You can't have a curved mast. You can't have any rake or any curvature to the mast if you've got in the mast furling. So, yeah. Alright. So yeah, this big old Dufour. This looks kind of like a Beneteau, like a big Beneteau. So I guess they kind of copy each other. Oh, this is an O'Day, I think. Yeah, this is an O'Day. Oh, 25th anniversary. But what? This is an O'Day what? Doesn't say what the length is. I'm guessing it's maybe it's at least a 35. Maybe it's a 37, I think, or maybe even a 38. I think they made a 38. Alright, it's got the stack pack. It just has a bimini. Good. Better than... Yeah. Having no canvas is best, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, so... Now, this mast... Here you've got double lower, you got dual lower shrouds, and then you've got, you know, the continuous middle shroud and then the upper shrouds. Again, everything, all the turnbuckles are at deck level, so that's good. I don't know why, like, there's this big pulpit around the mast. That's kind of... I don't see that very often. I think this was added by the owner. So, yeah, it's an O'Day. Yeah. Okay. And oh, and an island packet. Yeah, an island packet. So these are... Some people are like, this is like their boat, man. This is the great cruising boats. They're very comfortable. They have self-tending jibs. You know, it's a cutter rig, right? This is a cutter rig. Single spreader. That's fine. Not a real tall rig either. I mean, one of the reasons why it has only one spreader is because the mast isn't very tall for the length of boat this is. I think this is a 35, maybe. Anyway. Looks like she's got a lot of headroom. So, yeah, so if you just want to sail without having to bother with jib sheets, you just raise the staysail, and then you only use the jenny, like, say, for reaching. I think that's probably how they use this boat. So, yeah, very comfortable. It's a very comfortable boat. And there's one last sailboat over here on Sea Dock. So this will be a shorter episode of looking at sailboats in wherever I happen to be. So this is also an Italia. So this is a 9.98, which I guess you can see their theme. They like to build boats that are 2 centimeters shorter than the next meter up, so they can call it a whatever 0.98. So this is more of a racing boat. So it's 9.98 meters. It's 10 meters practically, right? See, this is a real racing boat, or it's built as one anyway. You can see here you got a very large, wide cockpit with minimal seating, and you know, big winches. 4 winches in the cockpit, 2 big ones up on the cabin top. Yeah, very aggressive looking boat. Discontinuous, you got to go up to tune those intermediates. And you got a very fractional rig here. Alright. And then you have an adjustable backstay. See, you got like this, all this block and tackle back here. So you can really put a lot of tension on the backstay. Whoa. And there's actually there's like 2 levels of adjustment at least. Yeah, there's 2 levels of adjustment. So the upper part gives you, you know, range, and then the lower part gives you like fine tuning and much more mechanical advantage to, like, you know, put an extra inch on it. And you see how the end of that line, let's see here. Okay, so the tail of, like, the rougher adjustment comes down here and goes over to there. I can take a close look at that later. And then the fine tuning just goes over there. That's kind of a new thing I haven't seen before. To kind of see where the tail of that really goes. Oh, okay, so it's on a cam cleat. Yeah, it's on a cam cleat, and so you can, I don't know what you'd use though to, because you can't take it over to that winch because it wouldn't lead. So I'd have to kind of see it in action, I guess. So, okay, so Harken winches, so everything's Harken. I'll bet everything, all the blocks and stuff look like they're Harken. All the hardware is Harken. That's good. I like that. Okay, and you got this big old bowsprit, and oh, that's a different kind of a furler too. Huh. I wonder how that. It's not clear to me exactly what's going on with that furler. So, okay, and oh, you have an adjustable. Oh, okay, so with the So no, you can't adjust the whatever the cable is that goes from the waterline up to the end of the bowsprit. But you've got other kind of lines here for doing other things that I don't quite understand. Okay, fractional rig, but with a backstay. So yeah, this is probably a fast boat. At least it looks fast. You can look like you have a fast boat. Oh no, I'm sure this does very well. I just haven't seen an Italia before, much less two of them in the same place. So, okay, all right. Well, there you go. There's looking at sailboats in Ludington,